Okay, so welcome back to this uh, Mid Cycle Etherpad. We have already covered all of the collab review sessions. Now let's go through the list of the review focus Etherpad so we can understand if all of the changes we would be focusing on them, they would make it for feature fees, or if we should be dropping something from this release. So yeah, let's take a look at the changes. I think passing metadata to backend drivers, it's looking very, very close. We talked to Kidan about it yesterday. It already has a plus two from mixing, and I've reviewed all of the files as well. It's looking good. So I'll just add my vote here as well. But I think more reviews are welcome. I just forgot to add the vote on this change. But
Was there
yeah,
anything on this thing specifically? Like, was there anything that we could do to test it? Like, besides, I don't know if you've already tested it with dummy driver can probably do it, but I meant for anybody that's implementing a real driver support for this.
Passing backend better to the backend driver.
Hmm.
Yeah, so there is one more pull request for the net app under the same topic. Uh, this is something I have to fix the review comment. So this is I had tested, but there are some changes that I missed to add into the pull request. So I'll update the pull request and change again.
Okay, I see the NetApp change now.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I actually was gonna call out in the original change that I'd like to see something in the dummy driver just so that we can, be able to test it locally as well without having a NetApp system.
What do you want to have in the dummy driver? Because we are passing the metadata. What dummy driver supposed to do on the update? Like just print
Nothing
that
really.
receive
Yeah,
the.
probably. Yeah, exactly. Just go
Okay.
ahead and just go ahead and accept the request and do nothing. But right now it will just raise a not implemented error, right? So that's
Yeah.
not what a driver that implements stuff would do.
Okay. So dummy driver implementation in the same pull request or
No, you can put it as a different one. It's fine.
okay. Okay, fine.
And
yeah.
there are no client changes for this, so this is good as soon
Yeah,
as,
there is no client changes.
as long as it's
There are no API changes.
yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, next one is related to the deferred deletion. Also has a plus two already. I think I've reviewed it at some point as well. Yeah, there are a couple of review comments. I think it's pretty much like reviewers getting back to this change. Um, yeah, this I think we wouldn't need to drop this from this release. I think we are looking good, and it's pretty much an update to what the features that we have done.
Yeah, I think it should go in the same release.
Yeah, so I think we are good with this one. Yeah, share encryption. I
This is rebased yesterday.
yeah.
uh, it has two pull request. I mean, so the investigation, like as we decided yesterday, the investigation about what we can do uh, in the ZFS or LVM just for testing purpose. Otherwise, the first one where it adds share type encryption, this should be okay. We can merge this. I mean, if anyone can review, that would be good.
Okay, yeah. This change without the other one, then we will only be able to create the share type encryption and stuff like that, right? We won't be able to actually create any encryption.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem, honestly. We won't be able to use it, yes, but I think this is the next release, the 2025.1 release. It's gonna be epoxy, and that's like the next tick release.
Yeah,
So I think it should be fine if we want to merge
yeah,
this. Otherwise, I mean that if no one else has any other concerns, but I think it should be fine.
yeah.
Are there any other thoughts on this? I think yes, it should be good. Um, but yeah, I don't know if there are any other thoughts on this. The other one for testing, let's see how can we test this. We can work on that. But yeah, you have my
I
opinion.
think for the second part, we should wait for some kind of implementation from the NetApp. That would be good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was going to ask if we're not going to have an implementation merging in this cycle, um, is it okay to defer to early E for this encryption feature?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That is fine. For encryption, we can defer.
Yeah, specifically because we will just have to, I mean, go ahead and merge the client feature, the API feature, and it doesn't really work, but it's just there. Might cause
Yeah,
some user confusion because that has happened in the past.
yeah,
But it's a prime candidate for early E in case, as soon as the other change comes in, we can go ahead and merge it, or you have the ZFS implementation.
yeah. Let's see which gets first.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Revert snapshot to specific
Yeah.
scenarios.
So basically, this one is approved by Girish. Gautam has one suggestion. So this is something I discussed with Girish that if you do so, we will be contradicting what NetApp documentation says specifically. So that was my question on this pull request. It's so whatever the calculation that I have added in the Manila is are correct. So now the question is, should we add the calculation in Manila or should we not change the Manila layer at all, and in the driver itself will do the shrink and the revert to snapshot? But this is what I think, that this will contradict with the documentation that we have. For example, if customer has share of 20 GB and snapshot of 10 GB, customer will be under impression that revert to snapshot will have the share of 20 GB, but what he realizes that it is being reduced by 10 GB. Sorry, reduced to 10 GB. So I'm not sure that is my thought.
When you say NetApp documentation, you mean the generic ONTAP documentation, or you mean the documentation we have in Manila?
No, not in Manila, the generic NetApp documentation.
Generic. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little slow. I'm going to refresh my memory around this. And what is the question here, though? Is it what is left in this patch? Is that the correct question?
No, what you said is that instead of doing the calculation in the Manila, why don't you perform the shrink so that the share size will become same as that of snapshot size, and then you perform the revert to snapshot. So except NetApp, all other drivers, we blindly copy the size of snapshot into the share
Mhm.
after the revert of snapshot. On the other hand, NetApp will consider whatever is
Larger,
maximum.
right? Yeah. So my concern is it possible for? I mean, a NetApp will consider whatever is larger. So go ahead, do the revert, check on the size, and adjust the size based on the quota. If it's not possible, let the share manager know so that it can update the quotas appropriately. That would be a better way to do this than I think what's currently let me look at the code change again. But what you're trying is you're going to reach out into the driver, come back, and then come back into the driver, right? There was an RPC call at some point.
Yeah, that is just to get the information about what driver will kind of consider the size.
Hmm. Yeah. So that seems a little. So firstly, I mean, whenever we're making these RPC calls, right? We've got to have the consider the possibility that on the other side there's nobody listening. So that might be one pitfall here. And second, so we have to make sure we have some error handling around that and things. And second, whenever you have an RPC call, you delay the API response back, and that's totally fine. Nobody's saying APIs are to be snippy and have to respond really fast. But consider that many people will have just the default timeouts around these APIs and stuff. So your API might succeed, but what the user might see is an error because somebody decided the timeout for something like this is 5 seconds. Um, and an RPC call surely will not afford for that, because you're reaching all the way into a different microservice and coming back. Um, and the third thing is something like this seems like some stuff that I mean, this seems very straightforward for the driver to work around, right? Because the driver knows what's happening, and it knows what the expectation is. The user doesn't care if the coda has to be, I mean, if I mean, unless the user is trying to take advantage of something they're not supposed to, or some stuff. As far as you can
I mean,
mm,
let's assume that user is using some kind of script on
mhm.
top of Manila API,
Yeah,
and in the script he knows that this Manila API is using the data driver on the backend. So the script is written in a such a way that whatever the native documentation says that the revert to the snapshot will consider the maximum. So if the
right.
script is written in that way, the end user will get a failure because Manila is not returning the maximum. Manila is returning with its default behavior, like the snapshot size.
Not a failure, but an overconsumption, a consumption of unaccounted quotas, correct? So technically, NetApp is using more space than Manila is accounting for.
Yeah,
So you're saying that somebody could take advantage of this, and basically, as a cloud, you don't know what to bill them, because we're actually billing them for something lesser than what they're
that
actually
was
using.
yeah, that was the reason
So
this.
yeah, my suggestion to this was go ahead and ask the driver what it should be, and if the driver can't adjust it to what it should be, then you go ahead and increase the quota appropriately. Right now, revert to snapshot does not do that part. Correct.
Or revert to snapshot adjust the quota.
Oh, okay. So as long as the driver can tell us what the quota should be, that can easily be done then.
Yeah, but the driver can tell us what the quota should be based on the size, right? And that
Correct.
is what I
Yeah.
mean. It introduced this additional RPC call, but that RPC call will tell what the quota should be, like whatever the size should be.
So you're checking ahead of time. I'm saying let's check after the fact that the revert has happened, so that you can adjust the quota appropriately in the share manager.
And the quota is, I think, handled in API.py. This will complicate the code. If you can open this API.py, I think quota is handled in API.py. Carlos, can you open this API.py?
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, see, the quota is handled here,
Mhm.
not in the share manager.
And that's fine. So I'm not saying we should remove any of this. Let's do all of this. And in the share manager, also have a way to adjust the quotas. So not every backend will return that the share size is changed, but if the backend does, um, it's something we can accommodate.
So basically, I don't understand. Like, are you trying to save one RPC call?
Yeah, I'm trying to save the RPC call. I'm trying to make the API behave the same way as it is, and do this accounting internally rather than exposing it to the end user the way we are currently, or the way it's being proposed.
It's
There's no problem with RPC calls, by the way, but RPC is built around, I mean, at least in this case, built around async um, work. And this action of checking for the quota is actually a synchronous call. You're responding back to the end user saying, okay, I'm going to start reverting the share. And that's all that's expected of this API. But now with this change, we're going to wait. We're going to make a call to the RPC layer, wait on the response back from a backend driver. And the response always going to be yes or no, right? Like technically, if what is that? It's some sort of a spec that's being set in the driver. It's not even checking on the back end as far as I can see, right? It's not
I,
making a call to on tap.
no, no. It's simply returning true.
Yeah, so I don't see the point of this as far as going to the driver each time to make this call. Um, so technically, the driver can decide whether or not the size has been violated based on the revert. Um, is my thought. Like I revert it. I can go check what the size is. The size seems to be more. Let me update Manila and tell Manila that the consumption is more. I can even take a call at the time saying, "Can I shrink the share?" OnTap's not doing it because its default behavior does not want to do it. But I, as a driver, can shrink the share if I want. Um, right? OnTap's doing what is safe, but if the driver wants to shrink the share, it can.
Yeah, driver can shrink the share, but this is like this is some sort of decision made by the driver.
Mhm.
Anyway, like if you want to shrink, I think we can try shrink and then revert to the snapshot and probably mention this into the documentation. I'm fine with that way as well. It's just that I don't want to change with the default behavior. That's the reason I did this kind of calculation.
Mhm. So I'm not. I didn't understand what shrink and revert would mean. Like you want the driver to do this part, or you're saying the user should do this?
Now the driver should do this then.
Yeah.
The driver will find out that the share size is bigger, so it will first shrink the share to size of snapshot and then perform revert to snapshot so
I
that this kind of calculation will not be needed.
I'm not sure that works because you're saying that OnTap is picking whether the snapshot is bigger or the share is bigger and just retaining the size, right? So what if um, so you want to shrink the share to the size of the snapshot? Is that what you're going for? Shrink or expand the share to the size of the snapshot and then do the revert. Okay, that might work.
Yeah, because if the share size is smaller and the snapshot is a bigger, it restores into the share and then the share will become same as that of size of snapshot. So if the
Hmm.
share is smaller, then it is working fine. So if the share is bigger, then do not make any kind of calculation in Manila API layer. The only way we can do is basically shrink
Shrink first.
beforehand and then perform.
That might be a concern to shrink first because the share size, um, could actually be consumed, and you
That's
won't.
So, Gautam, I have few things here
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
So according to me, actually, we should maintain the consistency of behavior, what the Manila is showing and what is the on tap is showing with respect to on tap. So like on tap, actually, if share size is more than the snapshot size, so we just means we should maintain that same consistency with the Manila also what on tap is doing. And yeah, right, shrinking, if you're doing the shrinking, if use size is more than the snapshot size, in that case, it might fail in the on tap. But consistency point of view means if you're syncing the share size, making it equal to the snapshot size, so in that case, that on-tap feature consistency will not be there.
Gautam, I think the other way. So whatever Manila is doing, right? We need somehow driver to make changes, and consistency should be there at the Manila level, and the driver should be changed such a way that it will be consistent with Manila.
My point
So
is
there
same.
will be one solution. What Gautam is saying is basically we do the way it is doing in the driver currently, but then return the size and then readjust the quota again.
Quota, anyhow, we are knowing, right? What quota we need to change. We know what is the volume size, and based on that one, we need to change the quota.
No, so in the revert to snapshot, what it does today is that it first adjusts the quota, and then it perform revert to snapshot on the back end, and then it's done. So
Right.
if we don't have to make a RPC call to find out what the driver does, what he is suggesting is that let it as it is. Make the changes into the quota here and there, then driver will do its job of reverting the snapshot, and at the same time, driver will return the size. So based on the return size, we have to recalculate if there are any changes needed into the quota. If there are, then we do the changes into the quota.
I
Okay.
don't know.
So
I'm hearing some echo. Not able to hear. What's the question?
so on tap point of view, it's clear actually. So if share size is more than the snapshot size, so we can't change that one, right? And that changes only we are doing in the Manila. So if you know that these changes we are doing in the Manila and the same thing we are making the change in the quota, I think in that case that should be fine. I mean to say that means before making the on tap call, actually we are making the quota change. Whatever the change we are doing, we are knowing those one actually. It's like that something we are updating the DB, and same thing we are executing the same thing in the on tap. Like RPC call, I don't have much idea means how much it will impact, but feature point of view with respect to on tap. So if we are maintaining the consistency, so that will be good actually.
I see. So I think you've said this already on the change, right, Girish?
Yes, got it.
And Janant, could you take a look as well and comment on the change?
Okay. Oh, okay, Gautam. Yeah.
Thank you. My thought around this is adjusting the quotas is fairly straightforward for us, but I may be misunderstanding what Kiran's you thinking about that in the sense of I I mean we are doing a quota commit and we would just change the reservation that was there. That's what I'm seeing as far as the code change. It should be straightforward. But if I'm missing that, maybe Kiran, we can chat on on the change, on how hard that will be to implement. And as far as user expectations goes, here's what will happen, right? An end user will see this happening, where they've tried to revert to a snapshot, and they are expecting, the behavior where the quota that's consumed is reflective of what the snapshot size was. This has always been the case with Manila. This new behavior that was there is from ONTAP, but imagine a end users going from building an application and going from one release to another without them knowing, because somebody else is managing their cloud. They're seeing that their quotas are getting adjusted based on what Manila is doing with these reverts. If the snapshot was bigger, they're going to start consuming more quota. If the snapshot was smaller, there's a little bit of quota adjustment or whatever that needs to it comes back. So they know this behavior. It is what my assumption is. With my suggestion, what might happen is that they'll see that when the snapshot is smaller, they might end up consuming a larger quota, because there might be confused. A way to mitigate this could be setting a user message that says the quota adjustment was made based on the size, the consumed size or something, because we weren't able to make that adjustment. Whether we want to or not, that's totally up to the driver maintainers, right? So I'll take what Girish and Janand feel like about that, and whatever is acceptable for you as far as how the driver implements that resize. But we have a way to communicate to the end user as far as what the decision is. There is a risk that you can go over quota, but that risk is accounted for. You can always go over quota in Manila. What that means is you can't do anything else. You can so if somebody's quota is 50 shares and they have 52 because something happened, that just means that you can't create the 53rd share. But you can bill them for the 52 because that's what the quotas tell you. So you can go over quota internally anytime. It's not a, as far as this thing goes, it is an expectation, and it's the same thing across all OpenStack services. We'll prevent you from going over quota if you're trying to do something new, but internally, if you're trying to do some stuff, you can go over quota.
Okay. So basically, your suggestion should be changing the interface of river to snapshot driver method,
Hmm.
and it will return the size,
Hmm.
and then
Then we
correct.
decide what to do with the quota. Yeah,
Okay.
in the share
Okay, fine.
manager.
I'll take a look accordingly. Thank you.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you for bringing this here.
Good, great discussion. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so I think this feels like it's still feasible. So, oh, good. Yeah, export location metadata is the next one on the list. I think, yeah, it's also something feasible for this cycle. Um, yeah, I think we have some. Ashley's been working on some good coverage for functional tests. So yes, that's a very nice thing, and that gives us more confidence. I think we are good with this feature. Not sure if you guys think otherwise, but I think yeah, it's pretty much using code that we have already been testing for a while, and it's been working just fine. So I think yeah, there aren't many risks for merging this. So yep. Yeah, next up we have manage for SFFS drivers. Still something that we have some tests already, like the manage test should help us build some confidence while merging this change. It's not that big of a change, and I think it should be a good candidate for keeping it for this cycle. If we'd like, we can continue pursuing this. Yeah, it should be okay in terms of like the impact of this change, as it is a driver related change. um, it's not that big of a problem as well if we are willing to target this for the next release. But I think yeah, we might have the bandwidth to have this on the cycle. Do you have any other thoughts?
Nope, it should be fine. I think start signing up reviewers, I suppose. you already encouraged us, but in case we're being shy or something and not adding our names, volunteer
Okay.
us.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I had Girish here to try to divide this between many people. So Girish
And then,
and Kiran, could you please take a look at the expert location metadata change?
Yeah, sure, guys.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, manage. It's kind of like driver stuff for the most part. Maybe I think Gotham. Can I have your eyes on it?
sure thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ashley too. I think she's got some good experience with this FFS drivers as well.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Any other driver maintainer willing to volunteer and take a look, see if I'm not doing anything wrong in terms of manage compared to the other drivers? I can volunteer someone as well. Uh, Maybe China.
Yeah, sure, Carlos. I will check.
Yeah, thank you. Kiran, can you take a look as well, please? I'll sign you up, but yeah. Right. So for Ensure shares APIs, yeah, I think testing is the next thing that I should look at. If I manage to complete the testing, I think it's a good candidate. It will. I think I should finish testing this week or the beginning of the next one tops, and then having a Tempest change for it as well. But I think it should be okay too. Uh, if we would like to review you know merge it over the next cycle, but I think it's not that big of a change, and it shouldn't have like that big of an impact. So let's add some reviewers here. Yeah, I think Morris, could you please take a look at this?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sean too.
Sure, I can.
Thank you. Ashley, I think Hixing is a good candidate as well.
Yeah.
I think Hixing is also a good candidate here. Helping him later. Right. Thank you, folks. Next one, NetApp Snack Lock support. I think I should add some links to this feature here. They are here. Okay, so for reviewers, let's try. Maybe Sravana, could you please take a look at it? So I'll sign you up.
Yeah, sure. No, I am on mute. Yeah, okay.
No worries. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, our reviews we do. We have done whiteboard discussion, and yeah, we will do that. Yeah, officially on that review portal also.
Awesome. Can I have Chayanan and Kiran's eyes here as well?
Sure, Carlos.
Yep. Thank you. Uh, Gotham, could you please take a look too?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Fida, yeah, putting you on the spot here. Could you please take a look at this as well? I just signed her up. I'll ping her later. Okay. custom storage efficiency policy support for Manila. Yep. So we already have Girish as reviewer here. Um, can I have I think Gotham Saravanan here too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Maurice, can I have your eyes here too?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Kiran would also be nice here. So just adding. Um, yeah. So Sean, thanks for. I can also be a reviewer for all of this. I'm not trying to. All right. Next one. Yeah, this one's been up for a while. So yeah, I can take a look at it. For one, I think Gotham's already added as a reviewer, so just keep you there. Um, yeah, this is a bug fix. And I think we've had these earlier in the past, or I think is this the one related to the
Yeah,
revert we've done in the past?
it is. Yeah, it is submission from past, but somehow there was a model change is missing. So now I have fixed that, and yeah, making the request again.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Perfect. This we had merged this in the past, but we had to revert it because we had a problem.
Right,
Is that
can
is
yeah,
that right? Like I don't remember if that was
Right,
this
right,
batch. That was
exactly.
this one.
So
Okay.
it depends on the another pull request, and yeah, that was missing, and now I have combined both. So now there are more improvements included because this.
Awesome.
sure,
Thank you.
thanks. Right, so I'm signing up myself. Got them. I think Ashley English should also be good to take a look at here. Trying to share the workload between all of us. I think 5 reviewers to the 3 chain should be great. For the next one, Nirap set less transfer size to a large
Yeah.
volume. Yeah. So
This is a very small change, just change the default of the configuration. We have talked about that in the issue. So yeah, it's actually setting a very large number and to disable that check in by default. So
awesome. Yeah, let's get some reviewers for this change. I can be one of them. Um, Jayanan and Sarvana, can I have your eyes here?
Sure, sure, Carlos.
You can add me also in this. I will see that. Yes.
Awesome, thank you. Let's. I think Kiran also. Yeah, got them. I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Next one, fix delay split clone when creating share from snapshot.
this one is yeah, nobody has a look at that yet. I think
Yeah,
so. It'd be nice to have some eyes on it.
yeah. Sorry about that. We'll take a look. We'll do it. Right, can we? I'm gonna just add a couple of people. So Girish, Jayanan,
Yes,
I think Maurice, could you please also take a look?
Yeah, my
He,
plus one. It's already
oh yeah,
because we
sorry.
have all in production.
Yeah, it should be easy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think Kiran as well. Next one, SVM migration across physical networks with multiple port bindings. Yeah, that's the last we have on the list. Also bug
Yeah,
fix.
this is a yeah no, it's some improvements for the. So I think this is a feature here. We have run this for a while in production, and also recently we have make some changes and address some issues that from the reviews from the past. So it would be nice to have another look. And I have asked Girish to look at it. So it would be nice to have more people's attention on that.
Sure, awesome. So let's, we have already. Let's, I think maybe Ashley would be nice. Yeah, let's add heights in here as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, so I think we have the changes and a couple of reviewers assigned. This one I will update with the list of reviewers. I think Hixing, we've looked at it already. There's more people that review this, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all we had. I will add a couple more reviewers to this snapshot instance defer deletion. I think we already have like a good list of reviewers there. I'll just update it in the Etherpad. But let's use this Etherpad as our main source of patches to review. I'll try to go ahead and go over the changes that we are targeting for feature freeze and the changes that are being under our review focus over the weekly meetings so that we can keep sharing our updates and getting the attention from reviewers. Yeah, I think that's all I had. Do you have any something else to bring up or any other changes to bring up? Awesome. Taking the silence as though, then I think we can wrap this up. We are 5 minutes past the hour, but I think it was very productive to have the reviewers assigned and also have the discussions on the changes. So yeah, let's wrap this. Let's wrap up this mid cycle. Thank you everyone for participating. It was great. I think that's the first time that I remember we did a mid cycle, and yeah, it was productive. And combining the collab review sessions is definitely useful for us to go ahead and follow up with the reviews. So yeah, now let's get some comments posted and take a look at some changes. And I'm pretty sure we'll do a great job with all of the features and reviews for this release. So thank you very much. Do you have something else to add? Awesome. Let's hop off then. Um, have a great day, and I'll see you on the Upstream Weekly meeting. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Thanks, Carlos.
Thursday, it's holiday in India.
Thanks.
Okay.